Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 1 English lesson on time order words. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts grade 1. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of time and order. All right. So our chapter is time and order. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade we're doing grade 1. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of time and order, it's to identify time order words, and we're going to put the sentences in order. So that is going to be our lessons for today under our chapter of time and order. All right. So when it comes to time order words, right? Time order words can help show when things happen, right? So it shows us, let's say, the periods of time when certain things happen, like today, first, last, yesterday, earlier, tomorrow, now. soon. Those are words that gives us an idea that, it tells us when things happen, right? And we call that time order words. So during the course of our lesson, we are going to find out more words that we can use in order to show when things happen, right? Specifically looking at the specific wording, like I say, like first, tomorrow, today, yesterday, now, soon, finally, later, then. Those are all words that can be used to show when something happens, and we call that time and order, right? Also, let's say, for example, you are doing something, right? And you want to tell us, let's say, your whatever that you did for the day or during the day or during the course of the time, then you can maybe use things like this morning I woke up, then I brushed my teeth, later, now I'm getting dressed or getting ready for school, um tomorrow we'll be doing something. So everything that you are telling us that you're doing in a like in a period of time, that basically shows the time in order. It can be in order of the things or how it happened, or it can just be based on the things that you did, doing now, or will be doing. All right, so once again we say that time order words, it shows when things happen. And then some of our time order words, they tell that a sentence is about the past, shows us things that happened in the past. They can tell us about the present, or they can tell us about the future. And your wording, when it comes to the time order words, will basically be able to tell us, oh, if this is in the past, if it's in the present, or in the future. And if we look at an example, right, of time order words, then it says, I'm going to underline the words that we can identify that shows the time and order, that shows when things happen, right? Whether, and you'll be able to see if it's in the past, if it is now in the present, or if it's in the future. And remember, in the past is anything that happened already, right? Whether it is earlier on, whether it is this morning, that shows when things happened. Okay, the first one says, we went to the zoo today. So we went to the zoo today. And if you look at our time order word, right, and then we can say today is our time order words. It basically tells us when we went to the zoo. So today is our time order word. Another example says, tomorrow we will go to the park. So our time order word over there is tomorrow. And tomorrow shows us when things happen. And tomorrow, if we look at the word today, right, then today tells us it's in the present. Because remember, we said that some time order words that tell us if the sentence is either in the past, in the present, or in the future. So this can either be present, but if we look at the word went, then went basically shows the past. Then tomorrow is definitely future, especially if we look at the word will go. I think over here we should rather just make it past, especially based on the wording, or past present. Then here it says now. Now we are eating a dinner. So the word now tells us when things happen, and this is present because it's something that you're doing now. Now we are eating dinner. And the last one says, we will go to bed soon. We will go to bed soon. And especially if you look at the word will go, it gives us the indication that it must still happen. So we can say that it's future. So this is a few examples of time order words. And like we said, time order words, it shows us when things happen. Time order words can either show us when things happen in the past, in the present, or in the future. All right. And then also some of our time order words, right, can also put things in order. And when we say time order words can put things in order, let's say, for example, you need to show that you need to, let's say you need to get ready for school. But now you're giving us a whole breakdown of the things that you need to do before going to school, especially like let's think of influences, when they show us the OTD, getting ready, get ready with me. And now they maybe show from the time they woke up to the time that they're leaving for school or leaving for wherever that they're going to. So they would use words like, first I get out of bed. So first is our time order word. First we get out of bed. Then it says, I got dressed next. So what did you do after you got out of bed? I got dressed. Next is our time order words. That shows after getting out of bed, you got dressed. The next one says, then I had some food. So then I had some food. So then is a word that basically shows us what happens next. Then we had some food, or I had some food. And the last one says, finally, I went to school. So this is basically a list, or it shows us how things are put in order, right? Where we said first, I get, or I got out of bed. I got dressed. Next is our next time order word. Then I had some food. Finally, I went to school. So that is our time order words. That is some of the words that was put in order, and it basically shows us how or what happened in order. Let's say from the time that you woke up till maybe the time that you left for school. All right. So once again, we see that our chapter is time order words, and we say time order words. It basically helps show when things happen. It helps us show when things happen, and sometimes order words they tell that a sentence is either about the past, it's about the present, or it is about the future. And we said some of our time order words, they are also put in order. And they put things in order from the time that you did something or you started doing something to the time that, for example, it ends. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca, and we're going to identify time order words, and we're going to put the sentences in order, and then we're going to do our test. And once again, we said that our time order words can help show when things happen. They can either tell us if it is in the past, in the present, or in the future. And of course, we're going to have to look at the specific wording to see if it is in the past, if it is in the present, or if it is in the future. And then we also have some of our time order words that can be put in order. All right. So now we're going to find one time order word within the sentence. So we're going to find one time order word within the sentence. All right. We say Janet and Paul will wash that dirty truck tomorrow. So Janet and Paul will wash that dirty truck tomorrow. If we look at the sentence, right, we need to identify one time order word within the sentence. A word that tells us when something will happen or when something happens. So we need to identify one word that tells us when things happen or when something will happen. And if we were to identify a one time order word within the sentence, we can say tomorrow because it will tell us when they are going to wash the car. So tomorrow, that gives us an idea of when they'll wash the car. All right, so tomorrow is our time order word. Our time order word, sorry. All right, we need to look at the next one. Here it says, I saw these paintings before. I saw these paintings before. We need to identify our time order word within that sentence. I saw these paintings before. And if we were to identify a one time order word, then we can say, I saw these paintings before. So before is a one time order word. So before is a one time order word. And then the last one says, we need to find our one time order word. They will eat the ice cream last. They will eat the ice cream last. And if we were to identify a one time order word, and then we can say last is our time order word. Remember the time order word, it tells us when things happen, like the period of times that it shows us when things happen. It can be last, it can be now, it can be first, it can be second, it can be tomorrow, today, now, later, finally. Those are our time order words. It basically just tells us when things happen, right? All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to identify the time order word. So we're going to identify the time order words. It says we need to find the one time order word. My friends will pick apples later. My friends will pick apples later. So we need to identify our time order word. Is it later? Option one. Apples, option two. Will, option three. Or friends, option four. Which one shows the time order words? Which one shows, which word shows when something will happen? Is it later, apples, will, or friends? Remember a word that tells us when it will happen. Not the word will. So, not the word will, but a word that will tell us when it will happen. Yes, and if we were to answer the question or choose the correct answer, then we will say later. That will basically tell us when something will happen. So later will tell us when something will happen. Well done. The next one says, tomorrow we will ride our bikes to the park. So tomorrow we will ride our bikes to the park. It says tomorrow we will ride our bikes to the park. We need to choose our time or the word. Is it tomorrow? Is it ride? Is it will? Or is it park? Which option is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, yes, tomorrow is correct. It will tell us when we will ride our bikes. So well done. Tomorrow is correct. The next one says, will Seth take the train to work soon? So will Seth take the train to work soon? And we need to find a time or the word that will tell us when Seth will take the train to work. Is a train, will, soon, or take? We need to choose the correct option. Yes, and if we were to choose our time or the word, then soon is correct because it will tell us when he will take a train to work. So well done. Soon is correct. All right, the next one says, now Seth has two turtles. Now Seth has two turtles. Which one is shows a time or the word? Is it turtles, now, has, or Seth? Which one is correct? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we will say now shows our time order word. So well done. Now is correct. That basically shows us when something will happen or is happening or yes. All right, so now we're going to put our sentences in order. And we can even put our sentences in order to show how or what you did, let's say basically from the time that you woke up, depending, right? So we will try and put our sentences in order. And if you look at an example, right, it says here, yesterday was Janet's birthday. So yesterday, next year, she will be 7. Now she is 6 years old, right? That basically shows our time order words, right? So even if you want to put it in order as into now she's 6 years old, yesterday was a birth or yesterday was a birthday, now she's, I don't know. You can decide to put it in order that basically shows when things happen in its order, right? So we're now going to put the sentences in order of how or when things happened or things had happened, right? So let's go to our test. All right, it says last week, Mr. Tang's old truck stopped running. Tomorrow, he will start looking. Now he needs to buy a new one. We need to put the sentences in order. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1. Last week, Mr. Tang's old truck stopped running. Tomorrow he will start looking. Now he needs to buy a new one. Or is it option 2, where we say last week Mr. Tang's old truck stopped running. Now he needs to buy a new one. Tomorrow he will start looking. We need to put that in order. Which order is correct? Option 1s or option 2s? And if we were to choose the correct option, remember in order, right? At first tells us, it's like last week it happened. The truck stopped running. Now he needs to go and buy a new one, but he will start looking tomorrow. But let's do number 1. You see, with number 1, right? Look at the second one. He says tomorrow he will start looking. That is why I was saying, but number 2, we first need to say now he needs to buy a new one, and then tomorrow he will start looking, right? So we need to put it in that order. And the next one says, after work, he watched TV. This morning, Stan biked to work. He was at work all day. We need to put that in order Option one or option two? So do we say option one, this morning stand back to work? Option two, he was at work all day. And option three, I'm sorry, not option one and two. Option one, this morning stand back to work. He was at work all day. After work, you watch TV. Or option two, this morning stand back to work. After work, you watch TV. And then he was at work all day. Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct answer, we will choose option one. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on time order words. We say time order words shows when things happen, can show when things happen in the past, present, or future. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining the class, and I really hope that you're going to have a good day further. So till next time, goodbye.